Hello, my name is Matthew, and normally, if you have a book club, if you've been part of a book club for any extended period of time, weeks or months, um, it's not just about talking about the book. You're going to have, typically, you'll have your meeting place. You're meeting at somebody's home, you're rotating from house to house to every participant in the club, or maybe you're meeting at a library or a coffee shop, and it will begin with hellos and introductions and small talk, how your um, week has been, or whatever period of time uh, since you've last gotten together, and how you've been doing. And you'll chit chat and maybe have a platter, snacks, or if you're at a coffee shop, you'll go get your drink and commiserate until finally you settle down and talk about the book that you've been reading, or try to talk about the book you didn't read. And since Steve and I have now had a long-standing book club, it's been months now, and Steve has had his wave of misfortune with what he calls his tech apocalypse or something like that. All of his devices aren't working, and he's having videos that freeze and all sorts of issues. And I've had my own run of misfortune this past week, and I thought Steve and everyone else participating and watching in the book club, uh, I thought I would share before we settle down with our um, week of reading, Batman Year 1, Part 2. And earlier this week, in the middle of the week, at work, I broke my phone. I work behind a customer service desk at a large retail chain, and I'm on the phone with a customer, and I'm using the store's app on my personal phone, on my smartphone. It's a really good app, and it's um, convenient and easy to look up information that a customer that you're on the store phone with might want. If we have something in stock, if it's available, if it's only available online, things like that. It's very convenient. And while I was doing that, um, I go to put my phone in my pocket, and it slips on the outside of my pocket, hits the concrete floor, and I'm still talking to the customer. I bend down and pick up my phone, and the front is shattered, and the phone is completely blank. I'm tapping it and hitting the few buttons that it has, and it's completely dead. It has a little flicker of light coming off a shard of glass, but um, broken. And I have to keep talking on the phone and being professional and doing um, my job. I can't just say to a stranger that's asking questions, calling a store, I can't just blow a gasket. So I get off the phone, and I'm looking at what has happened, and it looks like the phone is just completely broken. I turn to one of my friends, one of my coworkers that now, after months of being there, I would call a very good friend, and I say, I broke my phone. She goes, oh no. There was another coworker who I don't know as well, a bouncy young teenager, and she sees me holding my broken phone, and she goes, why don't you have a case? And the phrase, why don't you, or why didn't you, is probably one of my least favorite phrases that I've ever come across. Anything that begins with, why didn't you, never ends well. And I've had various cell phones now for 20 years, over 20 years, and I've never had a case, and I've never uh, damaged or broken my phone. I've never dropped my phone in 20 years. I've never misplaced it or had any kind of um, negligence or issues from negligence. And I just never felt that it was necessary. And the reality that my phone is broken, it's the only device that I have. I don't have another computer. It's my main line for accessing everything outside of my personal proximity. And I rely on it for a lot of things that immediately start tacking through my mind. I use my phone to clock in and out of work. It's my alarm clock. It's my access to social media, but also my YouTube channel and my girlfriend. My girlfriend lives in Spain, and not only is my phone our phone's the only way that we are able to communicate. I didn't have her contact information written down, so I didn't even have a way of letting her know that my phone was broken, and I can't just go silent for a day. That's not an option. So I leave work, I go to one of those electronics stores to buy a new phone. I say I have a Google phone, and I just want to get another phone. I'm not very tech savvy, so I'm just explaining the best I can. I want to take the soul of my phone and stick it into a different shell. And of course, the guy goes, "Well, we have this Google phone," and I go, "Yeah, that's fine." And he goes, "Well, that's not in stock. We'll have to order that one." I say, "Whatever you have in stock." And he goes, "Well, we have this other Google phone that we do have." And I go, "Can I take my phone and stick it in this new phone?" And he says, "I think we can." He's going to take the chip out of my old phone and stick it in the new phone. And I buy it. He switches the chip, and my phone number works. I go to put my Google account in to start, because with the Google phone, it keeps everything. And my password wouldn't work. And I keep a notebook where I for all the different accounts that I have, I handwrite all of my passwords, and when I change them, I try to be very diligent. I get home, I go through my notebook. My passwords aren't working. It says you have to, if you don't have your password, if you don't know it, you can go through these steps in order to retrieve it. So I say, well, you can send this passcode to my phone. I'll verify it, and then I'll have access. And the Google account didn't recognize my new phone. It saw it as this new device and asks me to use another device that I've already been on, and it's that it would recognize as familiar in order to gain access. Because my Google account has everything. It has password management. It ties into all of my other apps, banking information. It has my fingerprint. It has my location at any time. For all of the ways that it knows that it's me, it needs this other device. And I'm distraught. I managed to make another account so I can track down my girl in Spain to let her know what's going on, and we had a terrific Zoom chat, but I was still locked out of my own Google account. And I was just, for a night, I was just wrecked, thinking, how do I do it? Google doesn't have a phone number that you can call, that, as far as I could tell. And so the next day, I go to my service provider. I go to the store where I get my service from, and I have my old broken phone, my new phone, all the manuals and everything that I got, and just explain my situation. My phone's broken and I can't access my Google account, and it's really important that I do. I'm locked out of my own YouTube channel, and I'm already just like my wheels are spinning as if, what if everything's gone? What if I can't get back in? Do I just lose everything? Do I start another channel? I'm not gonna. The idea of having to do that for this reason is distressing, to put it mildly. And of course, the guy that works there, uh, just unblinking, just says, um, "All right, well, there's a series of steps that you can go through um, to access it." And he goes, "You just want to say that you lost your password, and it'll send you a new one." And I go, "Well, I did that." And I show him I'm hitting the buttons, and everything that he shows me, I could have done at home. The difference is that he knew what he was doing. I did not. And it's a matter of, well, you don't want to use the Google app. You actually want to use Google Chrome and go to the browser, and these slight differences. And then just in a minute, I had access to my Google account and have a Google phone, and I log in, and it is just a shot of adrenaline through my phone. All of a sudden, this rather empty, lifeless slab of a new phone that I had. It had none of my contacts. All of my photographs were gone. Um, Different preferences, and just the way that I had my phone set up that I was familiar with was all different. It was just a totally clean, wiped phone that had my number. And I log into my Google account, and automatically it goes, well, all of your contacts are back, all of your photographs are back. Here's your password management, and fills it up. And it was like a fireworks display. And while I was there, I bought a case because you only have to break your phone once for a phone case to be worth it. Uh, so I've been talking a while. Now I'll record my Batman Year One after we've had a little bit of chit chat before we get started. So thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you would like, and take care.